We've been hired to do some mold remediation in the basement of a church. This church was built in the mid to late 1800s, so it's like 150 years old. There's a lot in this basement, so I thought it'd be an interesting story. There's about as much wrong with this basement as you can get. It used to be a crawl space. And then they dug down below the foundation and they put in what's referred to as a Michigan foundation, which is a larger base to the original above it. So when you go in, you see this large foundation. Then on top of it sits another foundation. The problem with this is you can't route water away from the building working from the outside when you do this, because there's no way to work to do that. There's no space outside the foundation. So it's inherently a problem for water to come in. So what they did was they put plaster, they put a big 1-inch thick section of plaster, and they just plastered the snot out of this dirt that composed part of the foundation wall. So water is still coming in. Another section of this basement is a crawl space. It's a newer crawl space. When I say newer, it was probably put in the 40s. It's a dirt floor. You can't have dirt floors, and there's lots and lots of mold on the floor joists. And it goes in, and then there's a wall, and you got to go around the back of the wall, and there's a whole nother area. So it's kind of hidden. I had another company come in and put in what's called clean space, which is a 30-40 mil plastic liner for the floor. And that just makes it so much. First of all, you have to have a class 1 vapor barrier in Ohio in a crawl space. So I had them install that so that when we go in, it's easy to work off of, because otherwise we're fooling around with 6 mil plastic and it's hard to deal with. And then there's another section of the basement where the floor joists are about 3 inches off the dirt, and you can't, and it's just coated with mold. And so we're going to have to go upstairs, build a new containment area, and we're going to have to remove the entire floor out of this area. And it's like a bathroom, a laundry room, a hallway. I mean, it's probably, 200 square feet. And so you have to still build engineering controls on the first floor to accommodate this. When you go in and look at properties like this, and you look at the old construction techniques, you really have to itemize 2 things. One is the photographs that you're collecting. You need to say main basement, you need to say crawl space, you need to say space to have floor removed. And you have to tailor then your agreement in each one of those tasks. And that way a client can follow, you're going to do this in the crawl space, you're going to do this in the main basement, you're going to do this on the first floor. And then your employees can marry the photographs to that section of the agreement. It's important that there's communication, that there's standardization of how people expect to see an agreement. I'm talking about your employees expect to see an agreement, and it makes life so much better.